Glad you could make it. I've got another piece of the Modular Mordheim table on the workbench today. This time I'm building a fully playable underground sewer section. Let's see how it comes together. Packed with detail, easy to reconfigure, and most importantly, fun to play on. Almost every part is 3D printed, so let's get started. These two tiles will include a below-ground level, and getting this right has taken some planning. My goal was to balance three key elements: modularity, playability, and visual appeal. The thought process behind this underground section was that I didn't want it to be purely decorative. The grate lets you place a building over the opening if you don't want to use the underground level. That keeps the table fully modular. It also means these tiles can be used together or on their own without looking out of place. From a visual standpoint, I wanted the underground section to feel grounded in reality. While something like this might not have been common, it's believable enough to fit naturally into the setting. As for gameplay, I see these passages as an alternative way to move around the battlefield. They give you the opportunity to sneak past enemies, avoid archers, or set up an ambush. On many Mordheim tables, underground areas are built around the edges of the board. They look fantastic, but in my experience the edges are rarely used during a game. So I wanted to bring that gameplay element into the center of the action instead. Before gluing everything together, I want to add a few ladders. There will be one at one end, and another in the middle. The opposite end will be climbable without a ladder. What do you look for in a Mordheim table, or any tabletop game that includes an underground level? Do you think this underground section will be fun to play on? Will it add the kind of gameplay I'm hoping for? Let me know what you think in the comments. All the parts I'm using started as existing 3D models. I cut them apart, reshaped them, and combined them into something new. I do all of this in Bambu Studio. It's a simple and intuitive way to customize models. I'm taking extra care to line up the pieces. This will be important later, when all the other sections need to fit together. For assembly, I'm just using regular superglue. I'm also taking extra care when gluing everything down. A steel ruler helps keep all the pieces perfectly aligned. The glue I'm using is called No More Nails. It's probably overkill for this project, but it certainly gets the job done. All of the grates are free downloads from Thingiverse. I've resized them to fit my design, and you'll find a link in the description below. I wanted this section to be a bit stronger, so I added some reinforcement. I used my trusty 1.5mm steel wire, heated it up, so it melted into the plastic to lock everything together. Everything is glued down, so now it's time to get some primer on it. Next, it's time to bring the tile up to the correct height. For that, I'll be cutting some XPS foam. The top layer for the left tile was easy to cut in the slicer. It only has 90-degree corners, so it didn't take much work. The right tile was a bit more challenging. I used 22.5-degree angles, which are just as easy to work with in the slicer. Unfortunately, I glued the flat wall slightly at the wrong angle, so I had to reprint the part and trim it by hand. Then I had what I thought was a great idea. I decided to use magnets to hold the grate in place. There isn't much room inside the grate itself, so I used 2mm diameter magnets there. On the other side, where I had more space, I used 3mm magnets. In the end, the magnets didn't work out as well as I'd hoped. Because of the limited space, they ended up slightly misaligned, so the idea was pretty much a complete write-off. I'm hoping I can make the fit snug enough that the grate will stay in place without relying on the magnets. Next, I'm adding a few pillars to support the top layer in the grate. Most of this area will be hidden once everything is assembled, but I will add a small grate in this underground room. I don't know how it will be used in a game yet, but it's nice to have the option. Everything fits perfectly. The slicer got it spot on, right down to the millimeter. Now it's time to assemble everything. Here, it's especially important that everything lines up perfectly. In the end, all of the tiles need to fit together without any gaps or misalignment. While I wait for the final top pieces to finish printing, I'll make some end walls for the sewers. That way I can place these two tiles separately anywhere on the board. The walls will stop miniatures from falling off the edge and make the sewers look properly finished. One of the tiles has a removable manhole cover, so I wanted to add a sewer beneath it. I took an existing STL file that was a well from the start, cut it apart, and used the inside section as the sewer. I also added some stonework to finish off the exposed edges of the top section. I tried a few different ways to cut FDM printed parts. They are mostly hollow, but not where the internal reinforcement is. In the end, I came to the conclusion that if you don't have a proper bandsaw, an angle grinder does the job just fine. I used one thin cutting disc and another disc for grinding and cleanup. The angle grinder definitely has its limitations. For the cleanup, I'm just using a hobby knife to finish the cut. The build part for these two tiles is almost complete. I'm using some plastic putty to fill any gaps. I'm also using dark earth texture to help hide the seams where the parts were glued together. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. In the next video, we'll be tackling the painting stage and bringing these tiles to life. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like, and if you'd like to see more, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.